Hey guys, AniMind here and welcome back to another speedrun video. Today, as you probably saw in the title, it'll be part 2 of my Gravity Falls review kind of thing. Before we get into the video, please leave a like, subscribe. I really need the subscribers. And also, I realized that in the last video I didn't really talk about the image that I drew. If you haven't seen it, this video won't make sense, so please go check it out. In the last video I didn't talk about what the image was about, and I just want to say it was Victoria and Angela sleeping on the cliff before they went to Kilimanjaro to find the fire crystal. And fittingly, this is actually the domain of the fire crystal. You probably saw my picture of the serpent creature that was protecting the fire crystal. It was a basilisk. If you've seen Harry Potter, you probably know what a basilisk is. But a basilisk is actually more of a chicken kind of creature, according to mythology, but my basilisks are more shape-shifting kind of creatures. They can't entirely shape-shift, but they can morph into different shapes. So they're shape-shifters, but they can't change color and pigment and stuff like that. They're more like Jake from Adventure Time, if you understand what I mean. Angela and Victoria are fighting the basilisk so that they can find the fire crystal. If you don't know what I'm talking about at all, please watch my videos about my storyline. But anyway, let's get into the video. I think this will be the last part of the Gravity Falls series that I made. Well, not the official series, but you know what I mean, my mini-series about talking about Gravity Falls. Because, I talked a lot about lure in the last video, and I'm just going to be talking about the show itself a bit more now, because what I enjoyed about the show. Some of my favorite episodes were the Halloween episode. I thought it was well written. It was a smart way to introduce Halloween into the show, because of course it's like Phineas and Ferb, almost exactly like Phineas and Ferb, the show, where it can only take place in summer, and this is really hard. It's good for some things, like there is no school schedule, so they can be anywhere at any time of day, but it's also hard because some holidays aren't inside of this kind of time frame, so you have to make some stuff up. Sometimes, just like in Phineas and Ferb, what they did was they just said that it was Halloweeny weather, or that they would just wanted to scare, like Isabella's hiccups and stuff like that. I think I really need to make also a Phineas and Ferb video, because otherwise I'm going to talk too much about Phineas and Ferb in this video. Then let's get on to a bit more of the lure, and it sounds weird if you saw my first video, because then I just talked about lure, but now specifically the show's lure. Bill Cipher as a character, well, he's the thumbnail in both of my videos. I feel like Bill Cipher was a really good, smart way of creating a villain, because he's kind of quirky and evil, but you love him. He's one of those characters, because I hate it when shows some shows make their evil characters like either way too evil that you just hate him and want him to die, which is never a good thing to feel. That sounded a bit harsh, but you understand what I mean. He's so unlikable. But other shows, then the villain has no. You start wondering, why on earth is he doing this? He has no. I forgot the word now. He has no reason to be evil. Then there are other villains, and the other villains where they want them to be way too evil, which is also a bad thing, because making a villain way too evil is also really, it isn't good for the story, because if he's too evil, then you kind of feel like he's unrealistic. And then other times the villain has a reason, or the villain is redeemed, and I feel like that's some of the most realistic villains there are, because all villains have a reason for being villainous. And then there are the villains that are in Bill Cipher's zone of villainy, and they are the villains that are unredeemable, and they're just born evil. They're usually not humans, they're usually demons or something like that, which Build Cypher is. And this really helps because it shows that his villainous acts, he doesn't really feel sad about them, because if it's a human that just murders all these people or destroys all of this stuff, then you wonder, what kind of person are you? But if it's Build Cypher, you're like, well, he's an all-powerful demon that was stuck in the two-dimensional dimension, and he destroyed it, so why won't he destroy this dimension? It just makes sense for his character, and I feel like that's a good, because either you have to redeem your villain, or you have to defeat your villain. There isn't really another way that I know of at the moment. Sometimes there is no villain, and people do what they do wrong because of people being people, and they're human, and then the lesson is that no one is perfect and stuff like that, which is also good. But I'm talking about more about villains themselves, and redemption has always been one of those better stuff for me. When we're talking about human, redemption is always necessary, I feel, because all humans, as I've said before, are born innocent in my eyes. It's just how you're affected by your surroundings and people that you're surrounded by faith that causes you to be someone. If, as I've said before, if you were raised by abusive people, then you would also feel like when you're angry at someone, you are allowed to abuse them. And so you can't really blame anyone for being who they are, because you can always try and fix yourself, but if you were raised to believe that who you are is who you will always be and you can never change that, then you won't try to fix yourself. So fixing yourself isn't really up to yourself, it's all because of other people, and those people are bad to you because of how people were to them. So it's just one of those vicious cycles, and everyone who is happy should try and redeem them and the children and the friends and whoever affected them, because it's 50% of the time it's not their fault for being who they are. They were just unlucky when they were born. And I feel like that is a great message to have by redeeming characters, because not redeeming a character that has reason for being a villain, I feel, is then what was the point of having backstory? If you're not going to redeem a character that did this for a reason, then you don't need a reason for the character to be evil. You can just say he's evil because he's evil, because he won't be redeemed in any way. So why does he need to have a compelling backstory? I feel like that's why Gravity Falls Build Cypher is such a great evil character, because whatever he does doesn't have a reason. It's just how he was created, and even then that means he's not evil. He was kind of born evil, and that's the message that I feel like shows should actually be sending out. Sorry that I'm getting a little bit kind of religious almost with talking about how shows should send out messages, but they should just say that whoever you are, you can change, and if you can't change, then there will always be a way. You just have to try and ask for help as much as possible. But anyway, sorry, that's all the time I have. Thanks for watching. Please say what you think about this video. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.